On June 22, 1948, a date etched forever in the annals of British history, the HMT Empire Windrush, a vessel carrying hopes and dreams, sailed gracefully up the Thames, its silhouette a promise of change. It finally docked at Tilbury in Essex, a port town that would become synonymous with a pivotal moment in British social history. Over 1,000 passengers, their faces filled with anticipation, mostly young men and women from the Caribbean islands, brimming with optimism and a desire for a brighter future, arrived as British citizens, holding passports that affirmed their rights and belonging. They were answering the call to help rebuild post-war Britain, a nation depleted by conflict and in desperate need of skilled and willing hands. They carried little but hope and dreams, packed into suitcases alongside cherished mementos of home, stepping onto British soil into a country they knew from stories, from textbooks, and from the promises whispered across the ocean. A land of opportunity, a place to forge new lives, but also a journey into uncertainty, into the unknown challenges that lay ahead. Journalists and photographers eagerly captured the historic moment, documenting the faces and stories of these brave newcomers. The air buzzed with excitement, punctuated by Lord Kitchener's impromptu calypso performance on the dockside. "London is the place for me," a song that perfectly encapsulated the spirit of optimism and the allure of a new beginning. The catchy tune echoed the optimism radiating from the faces of the new arrivals, their smiles reflecting hope and anticipation. The Windrush's arrival at Tilbury marked the symbolic start, a powerful emblem of a changing Britain. It heralded a new era of migration, a significant shift in the demographic landscape of the nation. This pivotal moment gave rise to what would forever be known as the Windrush Generation, a term that encapsulates the contributions and experiences of these Caribbean migrants and their descendants. These pioneers quickly integrated into British society, becoming nurses, railway workers, connecting communities and building the nation's infrastructure, bus drivers navigating the bustling streets of London, and skilled tradespeople contributing their expertise to various industries. They were diligently answering Britain's urgent need for labour, filling critical gaps in the workforce and fueling the country's post-war recovery. Their journey from Tilbury was just the first step on a long and transformative path in building new communities, vibrant and resilient, that enriched the cultural tapestry of Britain. They played a vital role in shaping the future of modern Britain, contributing to its multicultural identity and leaving an indelible mark on its social fabric. Few could have imagined on that day in June how profoundly their arrival would transform the nation, forever changing its cultural landscape and leaving a legacy that continues to resonate today. The Windrush story, a pivotal chapter in British history, begins here. It's a story of connection, hope, and ultimately, a complex relationship between a nation and its former colonies. It all started with the deep, intricate ties forged between Britain and its Caribbean colonies over centuries of colonial rule. These weren't just trade relationships, they were deeply embedded social and political connections. For generations, Caribbean people grew up as British subjects, often taught a curriculum that centered on British history and culture. They were encouraged to see Britain as the mother country, a source of guidance and opportunity. This perception painted Britain as a place of opportunity, a land where hard work would be rewarded and a place where they truly belonged as part of the British Empire. The 1948 British Nationality Act solidified this connection, granting citizenship and giving them the right to live and work in the UK, a right previously assumed but now legally enshrined. This act came at a crucial time, just as Britain faced a desperate labour shortage in the aftermath of the Second World War. The country needed rebuilding and it needed workers to do it. Jobs in the newly formed NHS, factories and various public services were actively advertised in Caribbean newspapers, spreading the word of opportunity far and wide. These advertisements painted a picture of steady work, a chance to contribute to the rebuilding of Britain, and the promise of significantly better wages than were available back home. Many who answered the call to come to Britain had bravely served alongside British soldiers during the war, fighting for the crown and the ideals of freedom and democracy. For them, migration wasn't just about economic opportunity, it was a continuation of their service, a chance to help rebuild the nation they had defended. The journey itself was costly and fraught with uncertainty. It required immense courage and personal sacrifice from those who dared to make the voyage. It meant leaving behind beloved family members, cherished friends, and the familiar warmth and comfort of their homes and communities. Yet despite these challenges, the powerful promise of a better life, coupled with a strong sense of duty and belonging, drew thousands of people across the vast Atlantic Ocean. They arrived on British shores filled with hope and optimism, genuinely believing they would be welcomed with open arms as valued members of a larger British family. This powerful promise of acceptance and opportunity was the driving force that set the Windrush Generation's extraordinary journey in motion, a journey that would forever change the landscape of British society. The reality awaiting the Windrush arrivals was far from the dream. Britain in 1948 was marked by rationing, bombed-out streets, and a cold, grey climate. Many found themselves in temporary shelters like Clapham South, facing cramped and basic conditions. Securing work was tough. Racial discrimination meant many were forced into low-paid jobs, regardless of their skills. Housing was even harder to find, with landlords openly refusing black tenants, pushing many into overcrowded, poor-quality accommodation. To survive, they pooled resources through partner schemes, helping each other save and eventually buy homes. Despite hardship, they built tight-knit communities, with churches and front rooms becoming sanctuaries of culture and support. In these spaces, the foundations of Black British life were laid through resilience, solidarity, and hope. Building a new life in post-war Britain demanded grit and ingenuity. Caribbean men became the backbone of public services, driving buses, working railways, and powering factories. Women filled critical gaps in the NHS, working long hours and facing prejudice, yet earning respect for their dedication. The partner system allowed families to bypass discriminatory banks, pooling savings to buy homes and create stability. Home ownership became a symbol of belonging and a base for raising the next generation. These homes were cultural hubs, filled with music, food, and traditions from the Caribbean. The front room became a space of pride and identity, where heritage was kept alive. Through collective effort, the Windrush Generation transformed adversity into opportunity. Their determination laid the groundwork for a new, vibrant Black British culture. The Windrush story, a pivotal moment in British history, is not just one narrative, but a tapestry woven from countless individual threads. It's a story told through the extraordinary acts of ordinary people. It's a testament to courage and unwavering perseverance in the face of adversity, a journey marked by both hope and hardship. Take, for instance, Sam King, a former RAF serviceman who bravely served during the war. He later returned to Britain on the Windrush, seeking new opportunities and a place to call home. Upon arrival, he diligently worked for Royal Mail, becoming a familiar and trusted face in the community. But Sam King's contributions extended far beyond his job. He became a respected community leader and made history as Southwark's first black mayor, paving the way for future generations. Then there's Baroness Floella Benjamin, who arrived in Britain as a young child, full of dreams and aspirations. She faced the harsh realities of racism and discrimination, experiences that shaped her determination to create a more inclusive society. Despite these challenges, she rose to become a beloved TV presenter, captivating audiences with her warmth and talent. Floella broke down barriers and became a role model, inspiring countless children and adults alike and leaving an indelible mark on British culture. We also remember the countless unsung heroes like Inez from Barbados, who left their homes and families behind. They worked tirelessly as nurses, providing essential care and compassion to those in need. Often they were sending money home to support their loved ones, all while enduring the pain of loneliness and the sting of prejudice in a foreign land. These sacrifices, often made in silence, were profound acts of love fueled by hope and an unwavering determination. Their ultimate goal was to build a better future, not just for themselves, but for their children and generations to come. While some achieved public recognition, not all found such acclaim. In fact, most stories are of quiet heroism, everyday resilience, and the tireless work of building strong, supportive communities. The Windrush experience, therefore, was a complex and multifaceted one, a mix of vibrant dreams and harsh disappointments. It was a story of both warm welcome and painful rejection, acceptance and prejudice. Yet despite the challenges they faced, what ultimately unites these diverse stories is an indomitable spirit of endurance. It's a shared commitment to the ongoing fight for equality, justice, and fundamental human dignity. Their legacy extends far beyond the realm of Black British history. Indeed, it is an integral and indispensable part of the very fabric of modern Britain. Through immense struggle and unwavering solidarity, they forged a path towards a more inclusive and equitable society. And in doing so, they irrevocably changed the course of the nation forever, leaving a lasting impact on British identity and culture. The Windrush Generation sparked a cultural revolution in Britain. Caribbean music, calypso, ska and reggae brought new rhythms to British life, influencing generations of musicians. Caribbean food, from jerk chicken to plantains, transformed the nation's palate and became a staple of British cuisine. The Notting Hill Carnival, born from community resilience, grew into Europe's largest street festival, a vibrant celebration of Caribbean and British identity. Language, fashion and faith were reshaped, with Caribbean patois, sharp suits and Pentecostal churches adding new layers to British culture. The Windrush Generation didn't just adapt, they reshaped Britain, making it more diverse and dynamic. Their influence is seen in every corner of British life, from music to food to festivals. They turned adversity into creativity, leaving a legacy of cultural richness. The Windrush Generation faced open hostility and racism despite their British citizenship. The colour bar restricted access to jobs, housing, and even social spaces, making daily life a struggle. Racial violence erupted in events like the 1958 Notting Hill riots, exposing deep divisions in British society. The community responded by organising and defending itself, strengthening its resolve to fight for equality. Government policy shifted, with immigration laws in the 1960s restricting the rights of Commonwealth citizens. These changes felt like a betrayal to those who had answered Britain's call. Tensions with police and the use of discriminatory sus laws fueled resentment and led to uprisings in the 1980s. The Windrush dream was often overshadowed by systemic injustice, yet the community's resilience in the face of prejudice became a defining part of their legacy. Decades later, the Windrush Generation faced a new injustice, the Windrush scandal. Many who had lived in Britain for decades were wrongly classified as illegal immigrants due to the hostile environment policy. Lacking paperwork, people lost jobs, homes, healthcare, and, in some cases, were deported. The state's betrayal sparked national outrage, exposing the depth of institutional racism. Apologies and compensation followed, but the process was slow and inadequate for many. The scandal forced Britain to confront its failures and the fragility of citizenship for those who had given so much. It was a painful reminder that the fight for justice and recognition is ongoing. The Windrush Generation's ordeal became a catalyst for a national reckoning with history and belonging. The Windrush Generation's story is central to modern Britain. They rebuilt the nation, enriched its culture, and redefined what it means to be British. Their music, food, and traditions are woven into the fabric of everyday life. Their struggles against prejudice remind us that the fight for equality is not over. Their resilience and community spirit offer lessons for the future. Honoring their legacy means building a fairer, more inclusive society. The Windrush journey is a testament to hope, courage, and the power of migration. By remembering them, we celebrate the best of Britain, diverse, resilient, and ever-evolving.